Mic check 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2.
ENBLeague, ice in the veins, ice, 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 ice in the veins. ENBLeague, ice in the veins, ice in the veins, ice, 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 ice in the veins.
Welcome to Go Pass Arena here in Bratislava, Slovakia. I'm your commentator, Drew Lasker. We have European Northern Basketball League quarterfinals, game 2. If we rewind back to game 1, Anthems Bratislava, struck first, 105-83 win on the road in Latvia. And now they come home with a 22-point aggregate advantage. You see the head coach there for the home team. So VALMIERA Glass with a huge mountain to climb. But if you've been following sports long enough, you know that anything can happen, especially in the playoffs. Well, get yourself comfortable, ladies and gentlemen, as there's 3 games on the slate tonight. So 3 teams will be punching their ticket to the Final Four at a location that has yet to be determined. We should have more information for you next week. But this game in particular, we'll see the winner out of CSO Voluntari in Legia Warszawa. Voluntari with a beautiful performance on the road, going home with a 14-point aggregate lead. That game on later this evening, along with the Newcastle Eagles, who are at home hosting the Bakken Bears. Bakken Bears with a 3-point advantage on the road. So we got ENLBL basketball for you all evening. A triple header here on YouTube. Just an unbelievable performance by Bratislava on the road. 105 points scored. We talked about it in game 1 that these 2 teams are the highest scoring teams in the ENBL. Bratislava 91.4 points a game, which is second best in the league, and VALMIERA Glass at 89.9, which is third. But I think if you're a VALMIERA Glass fan, you're going to be focused strictly on the defense. In game 1 there, the road team got off to a fantastic start. Did a great job of getting back in transition, but ultimately the weapons for Bratislava were too much to overcome. Bratislava with 6 guys in double figures in game 1. Sabo, Crothers, Cousins, Buttrick, Gunn, Stevenson, all with unbelievable games for VALMIERA Glass. The point guard, Daquan Smith, came to the party along with Mike Nuga, 6 for 11 from beyond the arc, 24 points. Smith chipped in with 18 points himself, 4 for 7. But if they're going to overturn this deficit tonight. The big fella Khalil Spear is going to have to come to the party. Bratislava doing a great job of keeping him tame as we hear the national anthems of the teams. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we got playoff basketball coming to you in a matter of minutes. 6 p.m. local time there in Slovakia. As mentioned before, a triple header on deck in the ENBL. A lot of questions will be answered later on this evening. But if you're new to the European Northern Basketball League, 18 teams make up the competition, split in two groups, Group A, Group B. VALMIERA Glass 6-2 in Group A, while Inter Bratislava 8-0 for their first ever playoff appearance. We take the top 4 teams. You see the referees right there. Robert Vilklechi from Czech, Peter Zenes from Slovakia, Elvis Benders Koders from Latvia. There's your starters. Trent Buttrick, Isaiah Cousins, Dante Crothers, Shamil Stevenson, who gets the start, and Mario Zelzinak facing off with his former team. For the home team, road team, RJ Gunn, along with Smith, Spear, Elksness, Kos, and Novitsky. There we go, right there. There's your graphic. Daquan Smith, the point guard I mentioned earlier, with the great game in game 1, 18 points. Khalil Spear, the big fella. But again, as I was mentioning before, we take the top 4 teams in each group, and it's a cross matchup, home and away aggregate. So hence why Bratislava has a 22 point advantage coming into this game. With the winner out of this headed to the Final Four. Head coach there, Nicholas Mazurs, relaying his final message to his troops before they hit the court. Head coach for the home team, Remus Nadzic. Starting fives making their way on court. Again, a 22-point advantage for Bratislava, winning 105-83 in game 1. With a nice cushion here at Go Pass Arena. Zeliznak will jump it up with Novitsky. Well, let the games begin as VALMIERA Glass wins the tip. Daquan Smith getting the road team organized. Immediately skip pass to the corner. And they come up short. The MVP, Isaiah Cousins. Nearly a triple-double there in game 1. Beautiful stat line. 15.6 rebounds, 9 assists. Didn't need his scoring. 22.9 points a game in the competition, which leads all players. You see him turn it over there as he tries to connect with Buttrick. Just a terrific season there by Cousins. It just goes to show the weapons that the home team have, that Cousins' scoring wasn't required, but still able to get 6 guys in double figures. VALMIERA Glass 0 for 2 from beyond the arc, looking to go with the 3rd attempt, and cold as they try to close the gap on that deficit. Crothers gets tripped up there by Smith. Crothers Defensive Player of the Year, leads all players in assists. 6.9, and also 3rd in scoring. Just a terrific player. You can argue that he could have been the MVP as well. Scoreless here in Slovakia, but Cousins gets the party started from beyond the arc, showcasing why he's the MVP. That pushes Bratislava's lead to 25 overall aggregate. VALMIERA Glass in the black uniforms, while the home team, Bratislava, in the bright yellow. Terrific defense there by Bratislava. Stevenson with a nice lay. The home team strikes first, 5-0. And again, VALMIERA coughs it up again. Crothers dumps it down. And he turns it over as Spear, picks up the loose end as Khalil Spear puts Buttrick in the rim. Wow. What a finish. Those are the type of plays that VALMIERA Glass will need throughout this ball game if they're going to get back in it. And again, when you're down by this type of deficit, you don't want to try to get it all in one play. Set many goals. Set yourself up to get within striking distance within the 4th quarter. Get within single digits. And the star man for VALMIERA Glass in game 1, Mike Nuka, subs in for Daquan Smith. Beautiful shot there by Kos. Werner's Kos evens things up at 5. Buttrick going to the face-up game. Spins, beautiful footwork to get to the left hand. Nice move by Trent Buttrick. Again, Buttrick picked up a couple of weeks ago, really paying dividends for Bratislava. Huge game in game 1 as Nowitzki flushes on Stevenson. And that's 2 facials that the road team has served Bratislava. You see it right there. Wow, what a finish. If we're picking up any vibes in this competition thus far, the road team is not going without a fight, that's for sure. Buttrick. Back to Cousins. Back to Buttrick. Buttrick with an amazing 3rd quarter there in Latvia. Finishing the game with 22 points. Cousins coming up with it. Back to Crothers, who underhands it and count the bucket. Foul call on Nowitzki. Just a great move there by the Defensive Player of the Year. Let's take another look. Doing a great job of using his body and finishing underneath. Crothers unable to capitalize on the three-point play, but here comes Mike Nuga. Steps around Stevenson, but unable to finish. Well, 9-7. Home team leads. 5:50 remaining here in the first quarter. They leave Stevenson open again. And wow, VALMIERA Glass really dodging a bullet. Stevenson, the leading scorer for Bratislava, is a straight-up bucket. Coach Naglish, they're looking calm as a cucumber. I would too if I had a 22-point lead coming into this one. As Crothers tries to drop it off to Buttrick, but unable to get on the same page with the big fella. Nice little wraparound pass there, but Buttrick wasn't quite ready for it. Nuga. Again, another turnover by VALMIERA Glass, which is their third of the night. Pro team really sloppy with the ball, but on the other hand, Inter just really handsy out there tonight. Here goes Crothers. Out to Stevenson, where he's 0 for 2 on the night from beyond the arc. Sabo with great position over Spear and finishes it with the left hand. Sabo, another Bratislava player in double figures in game one. As VALMIERA is able to bang it from the corner. Elksness, the captain. One-point lead here in Slovakia. Skip pass to the corner. Stevenson able to capitalize. He's not going to miss too many of those, that's for sure. As Nowitzki is able to draw the foul on Sabo. Great job getting both defendants in the air. Nowitzki, terrific free throw shooter, 85% from the line. The best free throw shooter for VALMIERA Glass. I guess you can chalk that up as a commentator's curse. 13.5 points a game in the competition for Nowitzki. And he will get a breather. Daquan Smith returns. As we enter the final 4 minutes here in the first quarter. 14-11. Bratislava over the top to Sabo. And he might have drawn a foul on Pocelli. See it right there. Pocelli just getting his hand in. A great inbound play there from Bratislava. Cousins able to capitalize. Cousins with 5 early points. And again, that's Sabo's second foul there. And he will have to go take a seat. Bratislava with 1 foul to give, so it'll be a baseline out of bounds for VALMIERA Glass. Samuel Volerick. They're going to keep Sabo in this one. Again, nice hands there by the home team. As Pocelli nearly coughs it up there. Volerick doing a great job of getting his hands in the cookie jar. You see the defensive intensity there by the home team. No question why they're undefeated in this competition. Not only can they get it done on the offensive end, but terrific defensively. Nice shot there. Verna's Coast able to knock it down. Three-point lead for Bratislava. Cousins gets his mismatch. And a 3-second call there on Sabo. Sabo 2 fouls. Coach rolling the dice there as VALMIERA Glass tries their luck from beyond the arc. And they're 2 for 8 on the evening. Gonna have to shoot a little bit better than that if they're gonna get into this one. Again, the mindset for VALMIERA is when can we win the quarter? Chip away at this 22-point aggregate lead. Crothers. Ball screen with Sabo. Gets inside, hangs, and finishes. Great strong move there by Crothers. VALMIERA with a mismatch inside. Great ball movement. Pocelli. VALMIERA 2 for 9 from downtown. Cousins getting bouncy with it, asking Sabo for a ball screen. Great defense there inside. Crothers, beautiful skip pass to the corner. Dart. Showing you why he's the assist leader in the ENBL. Beautiful pass to Volerick. Bratislava with their biggest lead of the evening, 8 points. And another turnover there by VALMIERA. Look at that help side and recover there from Volerick. You can see the passion on his face as Pocelli steps out of bounds. Khalil Spear returns for Verna's Kos. As Bratislava looking to add to the lead. RJ Gunn, yes, picking up where he left off in game 1. RJ Gunn, such an asset off the bench. 14 of his 22 points done in the first half of game 1. Clock getting low. And VALMIERA really cold from outside as Nowitzki carves out Sabo. Great move, big fella. Inter with an opportunity for a 2-for-1. Look like they'll take advantage of it. Nice tip off by Spear, but Sabo cleans it up. I believe the referee called a goaltending there. Inter showing trap as VALMIERA tries to milk the clock. Daquan Smith, beautiful backhand layup. Inter with time here. Clock showing 5. Volarig. He's fouled, good foul. As VALMIERA had one to give, Pocelli not happy with it. But it's pretty clear that that's a foul in every inch of the world. As you saw him there grabbing the right arm. And excuse me. The referees called an unsportsmanlike foul, so Inter would get 2 free throws and the ball. A good call there by the ref as Pocelli didn't play the ball. He just grabbed the upper body of Volarik. And wow. Inter with their biggest lead of the game at 10 with an opportunity to add to it. 3 seconds on the clock. Gunn nearly finishes, and that will do it here from Go Pass Arena in Slovakia. And the home team finishes the quarter with a 10-point lead, which gives them a 32-point lead aggregate. Let's take a look at some highlights from the first quarter there, and it will be a lot of showcase plays there from the home team as Nowitzki gets big there in the paint, but ultimately it was Crothers and company getting the job done. 27 points in the first quarter. On average to surpass their season average of 91.4. Some great teams here in the playoffs. Really spread around. We have 8 teams from 7 countries. Denmark, Germany, Latvia, where VALMIERA Glass resides, Poland, Romania, Slovakia, and the United Kingdom. And 5 of those teams making their first ever playoff appearance. Just been a great season so far this season, but Hey, Eckers, the footage is frozen. Oh, okay. Cool. Thank you. Bye bye. Apologies for the technical difficulties there. As we enter the final 6:23 here in the second, and if you missed any of the footage, we're even. Both teams scoring 6 points here in the second quarter, as the home team continues their 10-point advantage. Stevenson gets the defender in the air. Down to Buttrick as he eyes the shot clock. Not much time left. 2 seconds. Spins, fades, count it. Trent Buttrick with the lovely touch. Talked about his impact in game one. Trent Buttrick, nice move by the big fella as he scores the last 4 points, and head coach Nicholas Mazurs has seen enough as he calls for time. And everything rolling in Slovakia, making it look easy. 14-point lead here.
Play this better passion, hey. With a little bit more energy. We have shots, we have really wide open shots, guys. And if somebody like big guy get the ball on the top, you swing it, somebody shoots the ball from the opposite side, 2 players go for rebound. You feel it, not got it, okay, make the foul. We have 3 opportunities to stop the fast break, okay? Next one, every baseline, guys. First, you go with the contact, okay? You don't switch like there is like no contact and nothing, no layup, okay? And you see this, Karotes, if you go like a little bit fake and you push a little bit, he jumps with the ball, he doesn't know where to pass the ball there. Again, and challenge him, one-on-one, he shot the better with it. And, okay, he turn around, he take the shot, he stands down.
The biggest rolling behind my back, don't want him staying that low.
No, when he shoots the ball, you play with the hands down, just keep playing, okay? React faster. There is nothing. You see ball goes in, somebody takes the ball, sprint and opens, okay? Hey guys, we go one side, okay? One side. Yes, we go like this. Khalil is a 4, 5. We go this way. Hop. Khalil, pop out here. Okay. Werner, you are on that spot. There is something. Like quick. Bam, bam. If no, pass back. Go with Rossi. Top to the room. Okay. Let's go. Let's go. Fabu.
VALMIERA.
Well, that's great access there as we heard Coach Mazurs and got inside VALMIERA's huddle, and basically his message was crash the boards, keep playing, fellas. Great message there from the coach as they see themselves in a 36-point aggregate hole as we take a look at some Horn side here. Gets the ball into Spear. Spear blocked by Gunn. Another great defensive possession there. You heard Spear in the huddle talking about the defenders on his back as RJ Gunn just getting it done. Everything rolling for the home team. 39-23, 5 minutes left in the first quarter. Elsnicks unable to lace it up, and VALMIERA 2 for 14 from beyond the arc, and coming in with a 22-point deficit. Those numbers aren't going to get it done as Cousins showcases his first step, and Spear just on the back foot collects the foul. Isaiah Cousins, 6'4", drafted in the NBA in 2016, and you can see the talent oozing out of him if you've been following the ENBL this season. Earlier this year, 30 points against the Bakken Bears, and just has really lit it up. 22.9 points a game. And 7 on the night. Bratislava showing pressure. VALMIERA able to handle it. Mike Nuga. Pass to Spear, who dumps it off to Elsnicks, and probably VALMIERA's best possession of the evening. Great ball movement there. Great backside cut by Elsnicks as they try to chip into this lead. Sabo showing that he has the range as well. Wow. This team with so many weapons. Elksness, this time short. And great shot there by Mike Nuga as VALMIERA finally gets another one to go from beyond the arc. Crothers, nice little pocket pass there to Sabo. Turns it over. Just expecting the big man to kind of continue rolling, but Sabo complaining that he was grabbed on that play. Nevertheless, we move on, 44-28. Bratislava with the 16-point lead. 3:20 remaining. Elksness drives, kicks, foul. Elksness, the captain for the Latvian side. You see there RJ Gunn just on the weak side. And again, another foul, this time on Stevenson. And the story of this matchup coming in has been about both teams' ability to score, but VALMIERA just unable to score in this matchup and unable to hold their end of the bargain and unable to stop Bratislava as Mike Nuga picks up a foul, and Trent Buttrick will head to the line for two. What will be on his mind? Coach Mazur's. A huge mountain to climb. Trent Buttrick suiting up for the Caledonia Gladiators in the Super League basketball in the UK. Terrific season, specifically in the Europe Cup, where he really shined. Spear. Handoff action, nearly turns it over again. Bodies on the floor. Nuga. Coles. And just the defensive tenacity by Bratislava. Relentless dogs. But they do pick up a foul on this possession, and they are making life really tough on the visitors. Crothers will take a seat. As Meyerchak returns. Mike Nuga with that first game explosion. But not this time. Bratislava with an opportunity in transition. Elkson is trying to draw the charge there, but we'll stay here. Inter with an opportunity to go up 20. Reminiscence of game one, where they went to the half with a huge lead. Isaiah Cousins spins around, and look who cleans up the mess. Sabo doing all the dirty work. Lead up to 20. Aggregate up to 42, and just nowhere to go as Polcelli hits the rainbow. Cousins coming right back at you, steps through the MVP. Beautiful move. And the inability to get stops for VALMIERA has been the story of this matchup. And they nearly turn it over again. And Mike Nuga's starting to heat up. Look who it is doing the dirty work, Sabo. Bratislava look to slow things down. Sabo looking to go 2 for 2. Rim out. Spear finishes it with authority. Khalil Spear shrinks the lead to 14. Cousins not done yet. Snatch back, pulls up, steps up. No. And an off-ball foul here on Bratislava. as VALMIERA with an opportunity to close the half on an 8-0 run. You see it, they're both men going for the ball, but as Elksness had the advantage. Foul called on the home team. Refs head to the monitor to take a look at this. I think they're wanting to see if this is a unsportsmanlike foul. I wouldn't say so, as both players were playing the ball. So from my perspective, I call it a bang-bang play and just a foul on Bratislava. You see it there, no malintent. And they do call the unsportsmanlike foul on Isaiah Cousins. I'm not too sure the theory behind that. As Coach Raymond Naglish looking for an explanation himself. Well, interesting enough, things looking to spiral out of control just a minute ago, but all of a sudden, VALMIERA with an opportunity to bring it down to 12 with these free throws and get one last crack at it before the half. And I'm wondering if that's a disqualification there on Cousins. If he received a technical foul during our technical difficulties, that will be his night finished. Take a look, another look here, and I don't really see anything in that. Both players playing for the ball, but Elksness only able to take care of one of the two. The big question coming into the second half is Isaiah Cousins. With 1.6 remaining, they go on the backside. Beautiful play for Pocelli at the buzzer. And that is the story of the half of VALMIERA. Getting great, fantastic looks from downtown, but unable to capitalize. 5 for 18. On the other hand, the home team dominating inside, just like in game one, 28 points in the paint. And that will close the half, ladies and gentlemen. 50-38 enters Bratislava, which gives them a 40-point lead aggregate. Excuse me, 34. Well, that'll do it as we break for the half. Well, we returned back to the action 1 minute before the players hit the floor. And the story in the first half, 58-38. The home team on pace for 100 points, which gives them a 34-point lead aggregate. Story of the half, I talked about in game one how the home team had 6 players in double figures. Well, tonight they got 7 or more with 5 points. 7 players with 5 points or more. Breaking down the stats, they are dominating the rebounds 21-12 and shooting the ball incredibly efficiently. 75% from inside the arc, 15 for 20, and 40% from downtown. You see the stats there for you. Well, 20 minutes of action remaining, and the big question, the elephant in the room, is can the road team overcome, or will their playoff journey end here in Slovakia as we begin the second half? Elksness, and again short. VALMIERA really cold from downtown there in the first half. 5 for 19 here on the game. Buttrick. Stevenson hangs. And to answer that question in the first half, I do believe that Isaiah Crothers has been disqualified from this match. He did pick up that unsportsmanlike foul right before the half as Daquan Smith buries it in the corner. But the question is, did he pick up a technical early in the game that we didn't see? I don't think he will be stressing too much there in the locker room as his team has a 10-point lead here and 32-point lead aggregate. Buttrick nowhere to go. And VALMIERA with an opportunity to get this thing within single figures for the first time in a long time as Buttrick picks up the off-ball foul. Great start out the half of VALMIERA. Did a great job of closing that second quarter. The lead was up to 20 at one point. In the last 2 minutes, the road team went on a run, and they continue it as Stevenson draws the foul. Stevenson just a mismatch nightmare at the 4 because he does have the ability to put the ball on the floor. Very efficient from the free throw line. 15 for 16 from the line in their final ENBL game, regular season game, and 27 points a game during the competition. Only played 2 games. Late signing for Bratislava along with Buttrick. As they look to get to the Final Four. Daquan Smith 0 for 2 from that spot. Crothers dropped it off the Buttrick. Unable to finish. Nowitzki spins around. Great hands by Trent Buttrick. enter off to the races, but a great foul in transition by Elksness. No Mill. You see that common foul so often, just to slow down the team's momentum. Crothers having to do it by himself from the perimeter this second half with no Cousins, and he says no problem as he dances to the rim. Crothers perfect from the field with 8 points. Stevenson back down to Crothers. RJ Gunn, who's been quiet, picks up his own rebound. And that's the thing about this team, is that who do you focus on? Everyone on the court is a weapon offensively. Everyone can shoot. The Final Four will be very interesting. Stevens showcasing that speed, kicks it out to the corner. And another turnover by VALMIERA. 16-point lead, looking to add. Crothers in his bag, crosses, snatches back, spins around on Spill, and puts Khalil Spear in the blender. Dante Crothers showing off that New York handle. Wow. And Coach Nicholas Mazurs have no answer for the home team as the lead balloons back to 18.
You move the ball, you have to go for the shot.
Let's listen in.
Take the rebound, okay? Just stop the ball somewhere. Don't let them score just with the physicality when they push you out, okay? Hey, we still have 2 fouls, okay? Still 2 fouls. This type of transition, just be aggressive, start the game, okay? That's it. Hey, we go regular, face down, okay? Where next? You go like this. Rossi, who's guarding you? The big guy, Patrick? Okay, you have 5 here. We go like this, boom, and you stay on the next one, okay? Start, boom, Werner's here, and then just space the floor, okay? Come on, guys, давай, let's go.
As we listen in on Coach Mazur's huddle, as they look to throw everything but the kitchen sink at the home team. But they have no answers. 58-40, 5:30 remaining. Nowitzki trying to bulldoze himself in and finish it and gets it done. Rostislav Nowitzki. But here comes Volarek as the defense says, get that out of here. Coles. And again, another turnover as Stevenson on the run. 3-on-1 incoming. Sabo! And Bratislava able to turn turnovers to points all evening long. Spear over the top, another turnover, and this time another off the ball foul. VALMIERA with only 7 turnovers this evening, but it's felt like so much more. I mean, all afternoon, the home team has been handsy, getting their hands on every single loose ball, deflections, passing lanes, showing the whole repertoire. This team is going to be tough to beat. Stevenson. Sabo again doing the dirty work. Goes up and he's fouled. Or actually, it will be VALMIERA's ball. 18-point deficit. 60-42. Live from Go Pass Arena here in Bratislava, Slovakia. Again, over the top to Spear, who gets it done. And this time, it's Mike Nuga. Quick 5-0 run by the road team, as Coach Nagler calls for time.
Good idea, but they're big, okay? Go to energy. Energy is open, bam, bam. Okay? Side flash. Iverson pass, handoff, flare. If there is a flare pass, one more handoff on the other side. If not, you play pick and roll. Okay? Let's go. Let's go. Defense is not bad. Okay? Watch. If this happens, like a switch, with the pass, we need to go help inside everybody. Behind, whoever is. Let's go. Let's go. 1, 2, 3.
Really loving the access here, being able to deep dive into the coach's huddle. As Coach Naglitz tells his troops to let's go. Pressure there by VALMIERA, but a clear foul there. Just a little too aggressive. Great pass there to Gunn. Unable to capitalize. Pocelli brings things back down to 10. The southpaw with the second 3 of the night. And Sabo again getting things done inside the paint with the 2-hand jam. And this time called for goaltending. A look of confusion there, but ball clearly hit the rim first. Yeah, you see it there. Sabo just a little bit late on that help side. (62-52) as we enter the final 12 minutes of this first round quarterfinal, and Dante Crothers is just in his bag, Birkin at that. Showcasing every aspect of his game, scoring, dishing, getting it done in the absence of Isaiah Cousins. Even trying to collect the rebound there. And how about this? Dante Crothers, 15 points, 6 for 6 from the field. sprinkling 4 rebounds and 5 assists. I'm sure he'll be a little bit annoyed at those 6 turnovers, but having a terrific game this evening. The Defensive Player of the Year, Crothers. Getting the offense organized. Playing through Stevenson. Defense goes behind. VALMIERA dodged a bullet, but Zelly Snack's able to clean up the mess against his former team. Great finish there. And boy, he has been a handful tonight. Dante Crothers out of New York. Leads all players in assists at 6.9 and also 3rd in scoring. Says he wants to be an ESPN broadcaster. Well, I think he needs to put that future occupation on hold because he still has a lot of basketball left in the tank as he knocks down a free throw. 69-54. 15 points here as VALMIERA turns it over. Both teams starting to dig into their bench a little. We didn't see this lineup in game 1. Buttrick tries to unleash. VALMIERA off to the run. Great. I was going to say transition defense, but great tackle there by Volerick. Smart foul, as they have plenty to give. Verners Coles gets tripped up. Again, if you're just joining us, enter without Isaiah Cousins, who went to the locker room after that unsportsmanlike foul there at the end of the first half. But I'm sure he's in the locker room feeling pretty relaxed as his team has. A 37-point aggregate lead. As Inter, with no more fouls to give, as we enter the final 30 seconds, dribble handoff action, dribble weave by Newgood, tries to get around. Nowitzki, nice finish. (69-56) as Inter can hold for the final shot of the quarter. Samuel Volerick steps back, steps around, tips up at the buzzer, and that will do it, ladies and gentlemen. 69-56 here in Slovakia. where the home team has dominated this series thus far as we enter the 80th and final minute of this home and away matchup. European Northern Basketball League quarterfinals. Bratislava, with the win, will earn themselves a ticket to the Final Four. Well, they will face the winner of CSO Voluntari and Legia Warszawa. As you take a look at the third quarter highlights there. Welcome back to Go Pass Arena here in Bratislava, Slovakia, as we enter the fourth and final 10 minutes of this matchup, where the home team has a comfortable lead, and it looks like they will be punching their tickets to the Final Four, along with, at the moment, if things hold steady, then Romania, they will be facing CSO Voluntari, another tough team, and that will be a matchup that will require your popcorn. Two terrific teams will face off at a destination too soon to be announced, as the Final Four will be held at a neutral site over the course of 2 days. And right now, if you're Bratislava, you just want to get out of here injury-free, but also finishing sharp to put the bow and ribbon on this matchup. Elkson is just cold this evening, but Pocelli able to clean things up. And again, Crothers has just been a thorn in VALMIERA's side all evening long. Able to do whatever he wants. As he looks to add to his 17 points on the evening, which leads all scorers. And if you're watching this game tonight, understand that his talent is no fluke. 41 points against Colbert earlier this season, which is an ENBL scoring record. And then just 2 weeks ago in the quarterfinals, tied for third all-time in assists with 13 in a single game. Making sure his name will be etched in the history books forever. And Pocelli knocks it down. Been a bright spot for VALMIERA. The only player who's consistently had any touch from the outside is Pocelli. Has 11 points on the night. But here goes Crothers with a little shake and bake. Tries to drop it off to Buttrick, but unable to complete the pass. Showing off that New York handle. Great ball movement. And Volaric sticks it. Nowitzki able to keep things alive there, as Meyerchak will go have a seat as Inter brings in more weapons and their leading scorer domestically in Stevenson. Nuga with the mismatch, dumps it inside to Nowitzki. Runs out of time and somehow able to make it fall. Nowitzki with a much better game here today. Nice, beautiful up and under there by Stevenson. And Mike Nuga tries to slice and Stevenson says, get that out of here. But VALMIERA able to come up with it. Pocelli lets it fly. And that's a nice block there from Stevenson as he rises up and goes and gets that. Crothers again, just walking himself to the basket. Unstoppable. And Elksness making a mistake there. I understand the premise, trying to pressure, but you got to provide smart pressure. Crothers unable to complete the three-point play. 77-63. So Mike Nuga looks to get busy. Skips it over to Elksness. And Crothers able to draw a charge. Wow. Picture perfect footwork. I'm sure his agent will be cutting up this game film here tonight. Look at that. The juggernaut Crothers beating Elksness to the spot and sacrificing his body. Inter can take their time here, as the clock is their friend. Pocelli down inside to Spear, who's been quiet on the evening. Back down to Spear, great hands. Who else? You guessed it, Crothers comes up with the steal. And VALMIERA Glass just with no answers from the relentlessness defensively by the home team. As Sabo re-enters. Stevenson gets Pocelli on his back and spins off of him like a washing machine. Great footwork, big fella. 79-63. Nuga lets it fly. And again, they turn it over. And Stevenson gives it right back. Mike Nuga getting his own rebound. Nowitzki Werner's Kos able to draw a foul there on Sabo. And since Sabo picked up those 2 early fouls in which Coach Naglish rolled the dice there in the first quarter, trusting his big man, unable Coast knocks him down. Well, the final 5 minutes here in this matchup, 14-point lead, 36-point aggregate. As Sabo looks to connect with Gunn. This time it's up to Spear, who rises up like an elevator. Bratislava can take their time here. Crother says, let me get a little heat check. But unable to finish. Again, getting his hands in the cookie jar. The defensive player of the year takes it right at Pocelli and draws the foul. Took a hit there on his way down, and I wouldn't be surprised if Coach took him out after these 2 free throws. Just kind of gets his legs caught up with Pocelli. Crother's 20 points on the night. 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals. Crothers again splits the difference at the free throw line. Not ready to come out. Terrific defense there by Bratislava again as Crothers picks up his 3rd steal. And Stevenson finishes through the contact. Everything working for the home team. As Crothers with a little sham god there drops it off to Stevenson, who plays through the contact. Stevenson able to complete the play, but just like I anticipated, Dante Crother's night is done here. There's no doubt in my mind who the MVP will be. Inter can take their time here. Mike Nuga drops it off the Spear as Volerate picks up the foul. I mean, Bratislava has done a great job on Spear in this matchup. Has dominated the paint in this competition. Averaging a double-double, 12.3 rebounds, 16 points. But the home team just doing a great job of containing the big fella. Little Spear knocking on the door of a triple-double, 11 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists, as Stevenson steps back. And Spear picks up his 9th rebound. But he does turn it over. 3-on-2 developing as Stevenson attacks the rim, looking for the foul. We play on. And great defense again, as Bratislava is able to draw the charge there. You see Nowitzki, Samuel Volerick doing a great job of sacrificing his body. And all smiles for the home team, as they are 2 minutes away from booking their tickets to the ENBL Final Four. That will take place in early April. Location to be confirmed. (83-68) as we enter the final 2 minutes. Spear knocking on the door of a triple-double. And Pocelli doing a great job there on the boards. Pocelli quietly having himself a solid ball game, 11.6 rebounds. VALMIERA showing a little pressure there in the backcourt. As Stevenson looking to get it up. Pocelli over the Spear. Khalil Spear quietly with an efficient game this evening. (83-71), and we enter the final 109. Bratislava will play the winner again out of CSO Voluntari in Legia Warszawa, as they hold a 21-point lead to go along with their 14-point aggregate score. So as it seems, it will be CSO Voluntari versus Bratislava, as Zeliusnak's able to put the hammer and the nail in VALMIERA's coffin. As Nowitzki's able to answer back. Well, final possession here for the home team. They can dribble things out. But Stevenson decides otherwise, as both teams looking to play it out. And Nowitzki, but too little too late for VALMIERA Glass. But the silver lining, they're at least getting this game within single figures. Novinsky, who didn't have the greatest showing in game one. Really showing the best version of himself tonight as he finishes with 16 points. And Samuel Volerick dribbled things out here in Go Pass Arena, and it will be into Bratislava punching their ticket to the European Northern Basketball League Final Four. Commiserations for the visitors. A terrific season. They were 0-19 in this competition before finishing 6-2 this year. So reasons to hold their head up high. And we'll look to continue to build. But it was all about Inter Bratislava and Dante Crothers as they remain undefeated in the competition, 85-79 here in Slovakia. And they will take on CSO Voluntari in the semifinals. Make sure you catch our next game coming up, which is the Newcastle Eagles, who host the Bakken Bears. Bakken Bears visit Newcastle with a 3-point lead, and that winner will go on to see the winner out of Ziki and the Germans, who play tomorrow night. You see it there, all smiles there from Bratislava. And the MVP, Crothers. There goes Isaiah Cousins making himself back onto the court. But there's their ticket to the final. The first team to enter this year's Final Four. But they will have their hands full with last year's runners-up, CSO Voluntari. You don't want to miss that. But that will do it here from Go Pass Arena. I'm your commentator, Drew Lasker. Make sure you stay locked in. Subscribe to the ENBL YouTube page, where you will be able to get all the access to the playoffs. And good night from Slovakia.
Pri mikrofóne tréner Interu Bratislava Aramis Naglič. V prvom rade gratulujeme k víťazstvu. Aká bola cesta za víťazstvo a postupom do Final Four?
No, dneska sme vedeli, da musíme byť pripravení odohrať seriózny zápas, prečo sú to také, nemám rád také situácie, keď máš plus 22, tým sa veľmi ľahko uvoľní a môžeš mať problémy, ale odrobili sme to profesionálne. Ukázali sme, da sme v dobrej forme a no, sme tu a postupili sme.
10. víťazstvo za sebou, čo dneska rozhodlo o vašom úspechu?
To, čo som už povedal, boli sme seriózni, 3/4 sme hrali veľmi korektnú obranu, zrotovali sme všetkých hráčov, tak energia bola na vysokú úrovni, to je to.
Historický postup Interu do Final Four, čo to pre vás ako trénera znamená?
Som rád, da sme postupili, určite sme na to nerátali, kad sme se prihlasili na ENBLeague a myslím si, da nerátal nikto. Ale už sme tu, ešte lepšie, da sme bez prehry, čo je veľký PR pre klub a dúfam, da aj na tom Final Fouru ukážeme dobrý basketbal.
Ďakujem pekne a držíme palce.
Ďakujem aj vami. Ďakujem.
čakáme už na... Pri mikrofóne už aj rozohráč Interu Bratislava Matej Marčák. Gratulujeme k víťazstvu. Ako ste videli dnešný zápas?